Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Goodwood Racecourse here on Wednesday. It is the 29th of July, 2020. Gonna look at almost all the races on the program from day 2 of Glorious Goodwood, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKit5 for more selections for race courses around the world, and join me throughout the week for some more Goodwood previews, and join me Saturday, and particularly for my Saratoga Whitney handicap preview. But let's get to the action from Goodwood. We'll be looking at all the races except the 6th race to 345 because I have no clue with that race, and my integrity wouldn't feel confident giving out a selection in that race, so we're going to skip over it. So let's get to the first race to 110, which is the British Stallion Stud EBF Fillies Handicaps, Class 2 Fillies Handicap, going for a purse $33,500. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Fillies mares only. 8 horses are going 2,000 meters or a mile and a quarter on the turf course. I'm going to go as a top selection with the 6-horse Lake Lucini. I'm going to go 6-3-7 in the Tricast Trifecta. 6-3-7 Tricast Trifecta. Top selection 6-horse Lake Lucerne. I probably said it wrong, but pardon that. The real filly by Dubois. Frankie Dettori's on this one for Godolphin and John Gazin. Most recently, they ran the horse again against 2 tough competition in the Group 3 Musadora Stakes at York, a mile and a quarter, July the 9th, and the horse finished 5th by 4.5 lengths. 2 tough competition, very wide post drop. Never really got a turn of foot, never quickened up off the break. It was the wrong spot. Coming here, lesser quality horse is second off break. She's in a more realistic spot to win. 2 back, she ran a Chelmsford 6th of March, mile and a quarter in Class 5 mains fillies race. She won by 3/4 in length, and she did everything right on the front end. She quickened up nicely and kept going. Definitely an improvement off her debut, which came on the 12th of December at Chelmsford. 1 mile in a Class 4 Fillies novice where she finished 7th by 13 lengths. Again, very wide post draw, and she just never really had a run. But, you know, that middle race at Chelmsford over the mile and a quarter is very good. Last time out, against 2 tough competition, like I said, but coming here, I think this is the right race for her. Run very well at 6-1. Let's take her. She's going to be my best bet of the day, so let's start off with the bang. So to recap my selection for the first 110 from Goodwood, let's take the 6-horse. We'll go 6-3-7 in the Tricast Trifecta. The second race now, the 145, it's the Goodwood Handicaps, Class 2 Handicap, going for a purse $40,000. Race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Horses rate 0 to 105. 16 horses are going the distance of ground here of 4,200 meters or 2 miles and 5/8 over the turf course. I'm going to go with the 10 horse here. True Destiny as a top selection. We'll go 10-7 in the forecast exacta, 10-7 forecast exacta, but you could use both those horses in a place pod. But we'll start off with the 10 horse True Destiny, 5-year-old gelding by Master Craftsman. Jason Watson gets them out for Roger Carlton. Most recently over the flat on the turf at Newbury, 2 miles into 16th, 19th of July in a Class 2 handicap. The horse finished 3rd by length. It was a little bit wide early on, but, kept going, quickened up a little bit. I thought it was a decent effort. Coming here off of a decent run, I'm going to give this horse another shot. 2 back in a Class 4 handicap at Kempton, 2 miles July the 1st, and he finished 3rd by head. It was his first race since this race last year, and, he just couldn't get there late. He stayed a little bit, but he needed the race there, and then he ran here last year, 2 miles 5/8 in this race. He finished 3rd by length, and he kept going. It wasn't a bad race. This year he's going to have to carry about 5 more pounds than he did last year, only carrying 113 last year. This year 118, which I still think is a competitive race weights. His last victory came at York in June of 2019 over the 2 miles where he won by 1/4 lengths, and he did everything right. I like him a lot. 5-1. Let's take him along with the number 7 horse Smart Champion. Callum Shepherd's on this one for David Simcock. His most recent race at Newcastle in late June was horrible in the Northumberland, where he just never had a run. But before that, off the break at Ascot over the 2.5 miles, I thought he had a very good, decent 4th place finish. He was staying the trip well, and then he went over at Newcastle back in February very easily. If he could run a quarter of that Ascot race, I think he can win. 12-1. Make sure you use him on the tickets. But to recap my selection for the second, the 145 from Goodwood, it's the Goodwood Handicap. Let's take the 10 horse True Destiny as a top selection. Also give kudos to the 7 horse Smart Champion. We'll go 10-7 in the forecast exacta, and like I said, use the 10 and 7 both in the place pot. So now let's get to the third race. The 215, the third race from Goodwood, it's the Unibet 3 Boost a Day Handicap. It's Class 2 Handicap, going for a purse $40,000. Race for 3-year-olds only. Horses rate 0 to 105. 11 horses are going 2,400 meters or a mile and a half on the turf course. My top selection, we're going to go with the 9 horse Glen Ties. We'll go 9-2-1 in the Tricast Trifecta. 9-2-1 Tricast Trifecta. Top selection 9 horse Glen Ties. 3-year-old colt by Caraconites. William Buick gets them out for Mark Johnston. The horse's most recent out, it came 13 15th of July at Windsor, mile 3/8 in a Class 4 handicap, and the horse did everything right, winning by 1.5 lengths, even with the ginormous weight on his back of 137 pounds. This horse stalked, he got the lead, and got the job done. Like I said, nothing bad about that run. Two back at Newmarket on in a very tough Class 2 handicap, Molecomb, June the 27th. Finished fourth by 7.5 lengths, and just really couldn't keep up there. Maybe the distance was just a little bit too short. I do think a 1.5 miles is better. And then before that, Goodwood, 1.5 miles in a Class 3 handicap. A horse ran a very good place that day by 2 3/4 lengths behind Bright-Eyed Eagle. As a favorite, this horse stayed the trip well. She showed potential. And then first off the break, Haydock, 1.25 miles Class 4 handicap. Not a 1.25 miles horse, but she finished third by 3 1/4 lengths. She was moving very late in the run. Her races in 2019, weren't badly run. The Wolverhampton race was better, but coming here off some decent runs here at 6-1, let's use her along with the number 2 horse, and a fire, and fear or whatever. I can't speak today. Pardon me. I haven't had enough coffee, but when I don't have coffee, it's it's game over. But I did have coffee when I looked at these races, if you're wondering. But Frankie Dettori's on one for John Gazin and Godolphin. They ran this horse most recently into Dante, where this horse ran okay, not great, but not not shit either. He just really couldn't get a run late, but I've seen worse races. Two back in Newbury, though, over the Monoquarter, he finished second by a neck there, and he ran just as good as the winner. He just missed the late, but that was a very exciting race. And then his races last year weren't badly run. I'm going to give him a shot at 5-1 also. Definitely use him on the plays pop, but the recount my selection for the third, the 215 from Goodwood. Let's take the 9 horse Glen Ties. Also give kudos to the 2 horse. We'll go 9-1 in the Tricast Trifecta, 9-2 in the place pot to the 4th. The 245, the 4th race from Goodwood, it is the Group 3 Mulcom Stakes. It's a Group 3 event for Class 1 horses, going for a purse $53,000. Race for 2-year-olds here. 10 of them are going to the post, a distance of ground of 1,000 meters or 5 furlongs on the turf course. I'm going to go with the 4 horse here, Deliver the Dream as the top selection. We'll go 4-6-3 in the Tricast Trifecta. 4-6-3 Tricast Trifecta. Top selection of 4 horse, Deliver the Dream. 2-year-old colt by Cantheros here. Charlie Bishop gets the mount for Robert Cowell. Most recently, they ran the horse 16th of July at Sandown. 5 wrongs in listed stakes, and the horse finished 4th by 3 3/4 lengths there. He never quickened up that day. At Sandown, they have a very tough 5. Coming here, not as tough 5 furlong. I think he'd get a better trip, and, he's drawn very well here. I like him on the inside for this race. A lot of people might disagree with that. They say you want to be drawn a little bit wider here, but I like the inside with him. But, he showed hard early on. 2 back, though, Windsor, 5 wrongs in the Class 5 main race. He won by a neck. He was all out. He quickened up nicely at 22-1. That was a decent race. And then before that, Linkfield's 5 wrongs on the Polytrack in the Class 5 main race in early June. He finished 5th by 7 lengths. He was under the drive early on. He hit the wall late, but, he still showed some promise early on. I'm going to give him a shot here at 15-1, along with the number 6 horse, Night on Earth. Ocean Murphy's on this one. The first start for this horse at Windsor on the 6th of July was horrible, never really getting a good run late, weakened out of it, but it came back a few days later to win at Windsor over the 5 wrongs in Class 5 novice, and this horse really put on a show, winning by 3 3/4 lengths. He could have won around another 5 times. That was the kind of race, the first start, he needed the race for experience. Second start, the sophomore debut, nothing bad about that run. Another horse, I think he's going up and up. 15-1, let's use him. It's a very wide open race. So to recap my selection for the 4th, the 245 from Goodwood, it's the Group 3 Molecomb. Let's take the number 4 horse, Deliver the Dream as top selection. Also give kudos to the 6 horse, Night on Earth. We'll go 4-6-3 in the Tricast Trifecta, 4-6 in the Multi-Race or in the place pot. The 5th race now, the 315. It is the Group 1 Sussex Stakes. It's a Group 1 event for Class 1 horses, going for a purse $366,000, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. 7 horses are going 1,600 meters or a mile here in the Sussex. I'm going to go with the 4 horse Kamiko as top selection. We'll go 4-6-5 in the Tricast Trifecta. 4-6-5 Tricast Trifecta. Top selection 4 horse Kamiko. 3-year-old colt by Kitten's Joy. Ocean Murphy's on this one for Andrew Balding. Most recently, they ran the horse in the Derby at Epsom, a 1.5 miles, July the 4th. The horse, he was drawn wide. He finished 4th by 6 lengths, and just as the favorite, just had nothing. The winner, Serpentine, basically won on the front end. Coming here, hopefully a quicker pace, back to a mile. I think he just really ran a good race. His most recent race at mile, was a success in the Group 1 2,000 guineas at Newmarket. 1 mile, he won by a neck. He had a great turn of foot, and he held on to a victory. Very, very nice run. And then before then, the Futurity Trophy at Newcastle over the mile, he won by 3 1/4 lengths, and he just took off clear. Another easy race. He's run 6 times. He has 3 victories to his name, but he always runs these races. Coming here today at 7-2, we'll use him. The 6-horse Vatican City, I backed him. I had some money on him in the Derby last time out. He didn't show us anything that day. Another horse, I think, the slow pace Scotch win. But, if he sits towards the front end, I think he run a good race. I thought his place in the Irish 2000 wasn't bad at all. Big question with him, if the ground shows up very soft, that's going to be the question with him. But I'm 15-1. It wouldn't shock me if he gets a good run. So to recap my selection for the 5th, the 315 from Goodwood, it is the Group 1 Sussex. Let's take the 4-horse Kamiko. Also give kudos to the 6-horse Vatican City. We'll go 4-6-5 in the Trifecta, 4-6 in the place pot. Now the 6th race, the 345, we're not going to give out a tip in this race. Very tough 2-year-old race. So we'll skip over this race and head over to the nightcap, the 7th race. The 420, the 7th race from Goodwood, it is the Theophenel Handicap. It's Class 3 handicap going for a purse $20,000, race for 3-year-olds and upwards. Horses rate 76 to 95. We have a field of 20 horses entered to go 1,400 meters or 7 furlongs on the turf course. Very wide open race. I'm going to give you 2 horses that I think can win. Well, in no particular order, you could definitely use them in exact forecast combinations, but most definitely use them in the place pot. Well, the 2 horses I like here would be the 10-horse Beyond Equal and the 14-horse Turo Strike. So 10-14, we'll start off with the 10-horse Beyond Equals. 5-year-old gelding here by Khalif. Rob Hornby's on this one for Stuart Kidho. The horse's most recent outing came 13th of July at Windsor, 6 furlongs on a Class 3 handicap. And the horse finished 5th by 4 lengths there. And off of that run, he wants longer. He just really couldn't get the good rhythm late. He had good rhythm, but he never quickened up late. But he got around the racecourse well, or down the racecourse well. But 2 back, he ran Newmarket, 6 furlongs in a Class 3 handicap, and he finished 2nd by 1 3/4 lengths there. The winner, Highland Dress, just had that better race. This horse, again, was chugging along. Nothing bad about that race. But a race before that was a little bit crap. At Kempton, 6 furlongs in a Class 2 handicap, facing tougher horses as a favorite. The horse finished 5th by 3 lengths, so really just was under the drive and not excelling. A very, very subpar run. And then at Kempton, 6 furlongs in late October of 2019, Class 3 handicap. The horse finished 2nd by a half length. Again, he wants longer. He's finally going to get it today, and I think at 15-1, he should really get a good race. And also, you get a good price. So we'll use him along with the 14-horse Turo Strike. This 3-year-old colt by Tornado. Ocean Murphy's on this one for Richard Fahey. Most recently, they ran the horse in a Class 2 handicap at Ascot, 1 mile, June the 18th, and he finished 5th by 8 3/4 lengths there. Off the break, he desperately needed the race. He never really got the good turn of foot. He ran better than most horses, but still, he just really couldn't get the run. Cutting back to 7 here today. Ocean Murphy up, good weight. Let's give him another shot. 2-backer Doncaster, 6 1/2 furlongs in a Class 2 auction. He finished 3rd by half length, and he was really closing up well late. He stayed the trip well. Nothing bad about that race against the tough horses. And then a Goodwood here last year, 7 furlongs. He finished 3rd by length, and he was with him early on. He just couldn't stay late. He just got overtaken. The winner, Governor and Punjabi, just ran that better race. His last victory came at Thirsk in early June of 2019, 6 furlongs in a Class 5 main race, and he won by a neck. He was all out, but he got the job done. If you look at his form recently in his last few, he hasn't run really crap, but he hasn't run great in spots either. But he's due for a good run at 12-1. We'll definitely use him on the ticket. But to recap my selection for the 7th, the 420 from Goodwood, it's the Theophenel Handicap. Let's use the 10-horse Beyond Equal. Also give kudos to the 14-horse Turo Strike. We'll go 10-14 in the forecast exacta, and most definitely use both those horses in the place pot. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingCat5. Good luck, everybody.